Gemini, welcome back to my channel. We are diving into the Gemini reading for December 2024. Now Gemini, as we are diving in, when I say we are ending the year with a hot energy, I mean we are ending the year with a hot energy. And so we're going to be diving into all areas of life right now, what is coming throughout December 2024 for Gemini. Now, as I'm leaning in, I'm going to be leaning into all areas of your life. So what I would recommend is that you bring to the surface what is resonating for you and really look at where it's resonating inside of your life and how you can take this message on board to create shifts in a non-codependent way. I'm here to lean into the energy. I'm here to channel. You're here to create the shifts inside of your life. Now, Gemini, the energy is hot for you right now, but it's not by chance. You actually are taking more time to become self-aware. I feel as though the last year has taught you a lot about yourself, and you've spent a lot of time understanding who you are and how other people perceive you. Now, there's a huge message on how other people perceive you right now, because I feel as though there's a piece of you that hasn't felt like you've been taken seriously in your thought process, whether that be in family life, whether that be in career, finances. You feel like you haven't been taken seriously. And so you're really wanting to fight to be taken seriously and fight to be understood at the level in which you desire to be understood. Something really big is happening for you in December where it feels like you're not prepared to fight anymore. And actually, this is a really, really good energy for you because you've tried to prove yourself way too hard and you've tried to get outside approval for the journey that you've been on for way too long. And as we're going into December, it's like this energy is happening where you're just throwing it all to the sky and you're like, whatever, like I'm no longer going to try and I'm no longer going to make effort. But even though you're telling yourself you're no longer going to make effort, it feels like you're not making effort with things that you are overgiving with. So whether that be relationships, friendships, situations, money, career, whatever you were overgiving with, you're no longer trying. However, in not trying to rebuild what was starting to feel draining, you're actually realizing that where you're supposed to focus your attention is somewhere completely different. Now, I'm going to bring to the surface the message of intimacy right now because it feels like intimacy levels are probably quite low in your reality right now. And so when it comes down to intimate friendships, relationships, you're probably going to feel quite disconnected, Gemini. However, it's not that you're disconnected and that there's a lack of love in your life. The people in your life, they love you, they value you, you have a very, very strong intimacy, but I feel like it's not a time to be focusing on your relationships. In the past, you've spent a lot of time giving to your family, your relationships, being of value to maybe your children, and now you're realizing, actually, I have things I need to do for myself. And this is difficult because often when we shift our focus from family life, it's really easy to start feeling disconnected from the people around us. But actually, you now need to go on a little bit of a personal journey. And that personal journey is about you now entering that new chapter where you feel connected with your life. You felt like you were just plodding along in routine. And Gemini, you are not a routine person. You are not somebody who's meant to sit on the couch on an evening and just watch TV and not think about anything. You are somebody who is meant to be striving for what it is that you want. And what I'm seeing is that you didn't know what it is that you wanted, and that was part of the problem. Now, where you've gone a couple of months not knowing exactly what it is that you want, I feel like something is coming into your surrounding that you didn't anticipate to enjoy so much. And what I mean by that is you are getting some cards dealt to you right now where Spirit is showing you signs. You've asked for signs over and over and over and again, and I'm seeing some praying hands as though some of you have been praying that Spirit will give you a sign as to what pathway you are destined to be on. Now, Spirit is going to give you a sign. And as it gives you this sign, it's going to show you how to be confident with yourself and trust yourself throughout the process. There is something that you picked up previously that you never gave the right time and attention to. This is a time of giving the right time and attention. This is the time of you getting really, really excited by your future. In the past, you've stopped yourself from getting excited because you've had big goals and had big desires and things haven't worked out. And so you've started to switch off again. Now is the time to get excited. Whatever it is that you wanted that you felt was out of reach, it's time to start getting a little bit more excited now. Now, when I'm connecting with this, it does feel like this has to do with your soul purpose. And so I feel like I'm specifically speaking to career for a lot of you right now. And in speaking to career, it feels like you've been waiting for a sign on the pathway that you're meant to be on. You know that everything that you've done up until now has been for a reason, but it hasn't necessarily been your spark of joy and intimacy. Joy and intimacy is now welcoming itself into your life. And I can see that as we're going through the next couple of months, you're really going to be placing yourself in this big, bold, expansive energy of purpose. And when I look at purpose, somebody else is actually challenging you into your purpose. It feels like somebody else is asking for your help with something, is asking you to guide them with something. And in them doing that, it's helping you realize about yourself. And so it's not that you're going out there looking for signs. It's not that you're going out there trying to find signs. It's that it's just falling into your lap and you're realizing how exciting it actually is. Now, in doing this, it feels like your attention is on a learning phase. It's like you're trying to digest as much information as possible about something so that you can make the right point of call moving forward. Now, what Spirit is saying is really absorb that information. Don't go in guns blazing because you've done the spontaneous thing before, and this time you need to be very, very grounded in the energy. Set that foundation right. Really get comfortable with what is the foundation of how you want to move forward right now, because these skills are there to be built with security, and so you do not want to rush the process. I feel like action, it's huge right now in your reality, but it's personal action. And I feel like you've had to learn this the hard way. Again, you know, we go into this new year and it's really easy to think, do you know what, we're entering a new year, I've got all these goals and resolutions for myself, and the year's going to be amazing, and then at the end of January it slips off. I feel you've got to a point now in your life where you're like, nothing's going to shift unless I shift. And so you're putting the time and the intention into working on yourself. And in working on yourself, you can't let other people's energy absorb you. I feel like, yes, other people are dependent on you. Yes, other people need your attention. But sometimes we have to say, look, I love you. I hold our intimacy within our relationship, but actually I just need to give this a little bit of love right now and not feel bad about that. At the end of the day, you got to do you as well. And right now, this is a solo pathway of you opening up to the creativity and the fun and the expansion that gets to be available inside of your life. Now, travel, there's some kind of like travel work commitment that's coming through. I don't feel like it's actually in December, but the mention of it's been mentioned in December. Say yes to it. There's some kind of thing that you're debating. Do I go? Do I not? It'd be pushing yourself out there work-wise, and it feels like networking in a space that maybe you've never networked in. Say yes, get yourself out there. It will be well worth it. And 2025 is actually a year of being in new environments for you. And so you want to kind of start that foundation strong by saying yes to the opportunities around you. So there's a huge, huge energy of putting yourself out there and getting yourself in new social circles. I do feel you're going to be a little bit out of your comfort zone, like you're completely new to whatever it is that you're diving into. And so that newness can be very, very triggering for your confidence level. You're going to have to learn to take up space, but you're also going to have to learn that people are going to be offended by you, and that's not a you problem. In the past, you've let other people's vocalization hold you back. At the end of the day, you're learning, you're evolving, you're going to make mistakes, but you need to get comfortable with the fact that you are not for everybody. And this is a time to actually be rejecting the people around you. What I can see right now is that it's a good financial time. Like money is flowing, things are happening. Remember how powerful you are when you're connected with spirit. Pray, ask your spirit team for guidance, keep communicating with them, because there is so much that they feed you when you are in tune. And I feel you'll go through phases where you just stop prioritizing your spiritual hygiene, and it has to be a mandatory. Now, as I'm diving in, drop me a like and subscribe if this has resonated, and stay tuned for more monthly content. I will also be opening up my year ahead readings, Gemini, so you can reach out to me if you would like to schedule.